You're about to hear the very real story behind the making of Austin Rye's new album, Love Like Blind. Only thing is, Austin is 100% AI, but the songs?
I hope I'm not too late. Oh, well, I guess I can't complain.
Well, they're 100% created by humans. Well, almost 100%. You'll get the gist. Let's rock. Welcome to the making of Austin Rye. I'm Clinton Bonner, and this is a brand new series covering the making of what I think is a really killer rock album. Of course, I think that because I wrote the songs along with some buddies. I also think that if you give the series a shot and the artist a shot, I think you'll dig it. So who is Austin Rye? Well, she's not real, but she is a burgeoning rock star. Austin is a late 20-something female. She's a rocker from the Pacific Northwest who has an 11-track debut album about ready to drop. The album, it's titled Love Like Blind. The sound is modern indie folk, kind of chimey 2010s alt rock. So if you like First Aid Kid or Lana Del Rey or Cold War Kids, then I bet you'll like her music too.
Well, I don't feel like moving much of anything, no anything. Well, I guess this is goodbye.
So why do this? Here's a little history about the music itself and some stories behind it. Most of the songs, 8 out of the 11 tracks, were tunes my old band, Your Famous Friends, that we wrote and played, and we did so kind of the mid-2000s. That band was based out of New London, Connecticut, and at that point, we were all in our mid-20s and kind of still chasing the dream of making rock our life in some way, but also starting to realize we probably weren't destined for MTV, and that was okay. Your Famous Friends had my friends, Brian Mello Wilcox and Jim Anastasio. They were my bandmates. And we had this driving, chimey, certainly guitar-driven lead sound. You'll hear more about those guys and some others later in this series, but as a teaser, one of the songs I wrote is actually with my father-in-law. His name's Frank. He's a really good guy. He's a heck of a musician and a really great songwriter. I'm excited for you to hear that one. Okay, but why use AI? Well, to be concise about it, my original songs, I had them on CD. They're sitting upstairs in a Case Logic. And yes, I absolutely still have my Case Logic and still love it. And I have them in MP3, but that's kind of it. They're just kind of gathering dust. It's fine, right? With AI, I'm able to reinvent them, give them a new life, sung with a completely different persona, and I get to modernize the sound. And hopefully that sound is something that you would hear, I would think maybe on like Sirius XM, Alt Nation, something like that. That's the vibe I'm going for. And plus, this whole project was really fun. It was fun to do this, and I'm absolutely blown away by the sound we got. And I hope you are too. So this series is the story of how I did it. What tools did I use to recreate the music and edit? How did I create Austin's persona, her look, her vibe? And what did I learn along the way? What mistakes did I make? Because I made a lot. What started out as a, let's see if I could do just one song, it kind of quickly became a passion project of mine. And the new goal really was, well, can I put out an entire album? And if yes, how would I co-create this release with AI so that it could be affordable for me and hopefully something that's really entertaining and maybe teaches a lesson or two for folks who want to do this. So that brings us to now. I mentioned the word series a couple times, and here's what you could expect from this channel. Each week, maybe every 2 weeks, we'll see how the releases go. I will release a new track from Austin Rye's new album, Love Like Blind. And each time a new song comes out, I'll drop 2 videos. The first video will be something like this, a behind the scenes with me that we're calling Making Of, or the Making Of series. And we're going to go song by song. We'll get into the story behind that particular track, what it was like to create that one through AI. And yes, each track was actually quite different. It was kind of a struggle on some of them, to be honest, but we found our way. And I'm also going to talk about my favorite moments, who were the human, creators and co-creators and collaborators on it, and a little storytelling that goes along with just what did I learn? And yes, each track was actually quite a bit different. It's going to be like a little storytelling video to properly introduce the song itself. Then probably the next day, I'll release a lyrics video for the track. It's going to look something like this.
A dirty beach road.
we'll follow that pattern for all 11 tracks on the album. I might even lace in some shorts. I got to figure that out. I'm not really sure where Austin Rye is going to live yet on the socials. We'll see where it goes, certainly on YouTube. So if you're into the idea and you like what you hear so far, I guess the first thing I'd ask is, can you subscribe? That would be awesome. Second thing would be, if you have any music lovers out there, just people that are just inspired by this kind of stuff, this DIY stuff, share it with them, please. It'd be really cool if you did that. Okay, I don't want the intro video to go too long, but I think I need to mention up front some of the tools I was using, because I think some folks are going to tune in for that. Plus, even if you're not here for that, you might find some value in it and learn something new. First and foremost, I use Suno AI a lot. That was the main platform that helped me take the existing recordings, the stuff we had from the mid 2000s, a lot of them live too, which is kind of cool, and bring them into the new era. Suno really allows you to dial into a persona. You could figure out like what you want your person to sound like, and then you can easily apply that across different tracks you upload, so you can drive a really consistent sound, which was very, very useful. We'll dive into some of the wrinkles and the challenges on each individual song. But for the most part, I got to say, I'm blown away by Suno. It is an amazing platform. To create Austin's look, I used Grok. I prompted my way to a look and feel of a dark-haired rocker that I really thought visually fit what was in my head for Austin. I then fed Grok the images of her. I fed it back to Grok, actually, and I created and dialed in the look a bit more to mature her a little bit, because at first she was looking really a little too young, like young 20s, and I wanted her to look a little older, and I really wanted to have like a bit more mature look, and at least look in the maybe later 20s. So let's call her 27, because why not? So now she's 27. In the lyrics videos that will get released each week, you'll see some live action clips just like this one. This was also done with Grok, but I upgraded to Super Grok to get the video clips done. I thought it provided the lyrics videos a few moments of something a little bit more special, and certainly brings the character to life in ways that the still images just can't do. Finally, I cut the videos together using CapCut. And yes, I have a paid version of CapCut, and they have an awesome tool. I think it's called Auto Lyrics, as I think what it's called. It's in their caption section, and you can choose how they look and see. You'll see how they look in this series. Yes, you got to go back in and edit them, because it's not going to get it 100% right. But man, it gets like 97% of them nailed the first try, which is really something, such a time saver. And finally, I created the album cover and the YouTube artwork and all the artwork you see using a tool called BeFunky, which is a lot like Canva. So if you know the Canva platform, it's a lot like that. As the videos come out, I'll share tips and tricks about each of these tools, but I'll mainly focus on how I use Suno and the lessons I learned along the way that really span making sure that your lyrics are accurate before you hit create, over to how stripping the songs down to their stems and kind of remashing them can provide some of the coolest end products and sounds. Right now, I want to leave you with only one lesson. You need something interesting to start with. AI most likely won't create something magical and unique for you if you just like throw in kind of dumb inputs, if you will. You'll hear in this series, many of the songs were recorded live. So it's not about the quality of what you're putting in terms of the audio. That maybe surprisingly doesn't actually matter all that much. What matters is that there was always a really good song there to begin with. You know, maybe it's a haunting melody, maybe it's a memorable hook. You know, it was there all along. As you enjoy this series, you'll hear me credit the myriad human songwriters and musicians throughout this process, because even though AI reinvented their sounds, their intent and their skill, their human skill, really shines through. In many ways, it probably shines brighter than ever before, and that's the whole point. Humans, along with AI, can do some really, really great things. While this is just a rock album, it's also a worthy adventure, and I hope you come along for the ride. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, do the whole thing so you hear when new tracks are going live. And please, I think most importantly, share this experiment with any musician you think might care. My biggest hope is that you just like the music. And with that said, both track 1, which is called Wax Trap Fire, and Making Austin Rye, behind track 1, they're live right now. I really appreciate you taking an interest in this project. Enjoy Austin Rye's debut album, and let me know what you think of the music in the comments. All right, let's rock on. That's the one I really got the most out of. That's not what I want to say. I wrote what I want to say right there.